Don't miss the biggest Maytag sale of the year at Lowe's. You'll find the Maytag appliances you need when you need them at a great price. Plus, when you buy 2 select laundry appliances, you'll get up to a $100 bonus via instant rebate. Shop Maytag at Lowe's. We help, you save. Offer valid through 5/31. See store for pricing and offer details. Advertise savings on all major Maytag appliances through Maytag.com and participating retailers. Prices may vary. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Hello, hello.
Hi there.
Pascale is back in her residence in her car.
I know, but you can't see Chucky.
That's all right. We saw him last time. He's front and center in the videos. Don't worry.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, he's there. Everybody knows your charming little Chucky now.
Aw, I like him.
And we're still working on. Oh, by the way, I'm Selene Castrovilla, and this is Life in Jest. And we are still trying to figure out the whole remote thing. Now, in the end, I think it'll actually be better. It's already better that we can sort of see each other. I like this, actually. But as far as the logistics for recording, we're working on it. So if you don't like this recording, I don't know how it's going to be. Oh, well, you'll survive. I guess we're working on it. It's not a permanent situation. Okay. Wow, I hear myself so loud. Lower this. Okay. All right. So, of course, we're gonna have a nice, relaxing episode because we have very high, we have very tense episodes sometimes, and I thought it'd be nice to actually, with it thinking about I started thinking about animals a lot because of the Karen Reen with the dog, the dog that got Chloe, aka Cora, that got rehomed and all this stuff, and started thinking about animals and how much they mean to us usually when you don't rehome your dog after 7 years. And then there was this video that I saw where this woman got this cat, and you saw it too. I saw Pascale had liked it or something. Seen it.
Barbara.
Yeah, and the woman talked about how long it took for the cat to adopt because it had been feral. Was it feral, the cat? I think it was feral.
She got the cat from Beth Stern.
Yeah, but they had saved it.
Yeah,
because it was so wild.
Yeah,
and they were going to. Whoever they had it at a place that was going to euthanize it, and then Beth came and got Beth Stern is amazing with animals. She's really like Saint Francis. I wrote to her. I said, "You're Saint Francis of Assisi as a female," because she's just
very good to animals.
She's amazing, and she responds. Like I've written to her a few times about emergency situations. One time I found that bunny.
I remember you telling me that you found an animal, and then I saw it on her Instagram.
Yeah, it was a bunny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this fits into, we're going to be talking about animals. I'll say that before we do the mini thing, I will tell this story since we're talking about it. There's this Buffalo Wild Wings. I do the deliveries, right? And there was this Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't want to go there anymore because every time I go there, I find a freaking animal.
Do you?
I don't know what's going on with this place. The first time, well, you know what it is? There's a huge park across the street, in Merrick. What is the name of that park? It's like is there an East Meadow Park, a big park? It's a big park, right?
East Meadow Park is Eisenhower.
Okay, I think it's the same park and it just goes back. Yeah. So it's on Merrick Avenue.
Yes, on Merrick Avenue.
Yeah, so this
Wild Wings is on the left.
Yeah, so I found this bird that turned out to be a Pomerant, and it's so funny. I'm going to digress again. Okay. Do you remember how I always saw these birds like years ago when I was just going through hell, and I was like in turbulence emotionally, and I would see this bird, and I would sit on my dock, and I thought that it was like a sort of like a Nessie type of a bird. It looked just like Nessie. It looked like that little head. It looked like everything you see in the pictures of Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. And I'm like, could there be a Loch Ness monster here? Or is this thing that I'm mistaking it just like someone's mistaking it? And then one day, this went on for years, okay? I would see just this little head. And I'd be like, what the hell is in the water, right? I live on a lagoon. And
Lagoon.
I like living on a lagoon because there's so much wildlife. Like when you go to the regular beach, when go to the open ocean, don't get me wrong, it's fine, but you don't see this wildlife that you see where I live. I've got the swans, I've got the egrets, it's really nice.
did not know you lived on a lagoon until 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, it's called the lagoon. If you look on the map of where I live, it actually says the lagoon. It's called the lagoon. Yeah. I always said it was an inlet because I live like
Yeah,
on an
that's what I
inlet.
thought it was. I didn't
Yeah,
think it was.
it's an inlet of Reynolds Channel, which comes around and then goes into the ocean on the other side. So, by the way, anybody that wants to come and kidnap me, here I am. I do have my dog. So, so I only found out because my neighbors at the time were friends with me, and they said, "How do I identify this to somebody?" I was calling some boat person. They're like, "It's called the lagoon." I'm like, "Oh, is it?" Yeah, they said it's on the map. So I said, "Oh." And then I found out that lagoons are a shelter from the open ocean where animals can live. Like there's never that crazy tide coming in like from the
Right,
ocean. There is definitely a current because I see it goes one way and then it goes the other way, but it's nothing like the ocean. So and when I was in LA, I went for a walk on the beach and on the other side, right on the same beach, there was a lagoon. It was right by the beach, but it looked like it was like you were in a totally different location because all these birds were there living their life. They were so happy. But then you turn around
great.
and there's like this beach here. Nothing's living on that beach. It was kind of funny.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like living in a lagoon. Actually, I use it in my bio now that I live on a Long Island lagoon. It sounds fun.
Oh, wait. Lagoon is one of those words that if you say it, because I've just noticed in this conversation, you know those words that start to sound weird when you say
Yeah,
them
that's true.
like over and over?
Oh, I know. I
Lagoon.
know. And you start to question, am I even saying the right word? Oh, no. But anyway, so I didn't know it was a bird. I thought it was the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah. So we'll
A
just refer to
cousin,
it as Nessie.
but I did. And then
Yes,
one
you
day,
did.
all of a sudden, saw it take off out of the water, and I found out it was a bird. I'm like, what the heck? So I really think that the Loch Ness Monster is just a bird that doesn't want to show its whole self.
Maybe. By the way, we went to Loch Ness and we
We
didn't
did.
see shit.
No, all we did was get that hot chocolate with the, what was in the hot chocolate? Scotch or something, right? Yeah, yeah. And then I got so sick. That's a way to make me never have anything again. I
Yeah.
got sick because I was taking that weight loss thing, but I associated it with that, and that's it. It's over for me.
Yeah. That drink was kind of gross anyway.
I didn't think it was. I liked it while I was drinking it, but at the end, no, I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
I didn't love it. I drank it,
Well,
but I didn't love it.
we took a video. I should post a video onto something of us. We were like, hello, Nessie, whatever you are. It really could have been any lake. We could have gone on any frigging lake and said that we were on Loch Ness. There were no defining characteristics whatsoever.
By the way, I bought my granddaughter a book, about the Loch Ness Monster when we were there.
Yeah.
And I wrote like a little note to her that, we went looking for the Loch Ness Monster, but I found this book. And
Oh, that's really cute.
yeah, it was something like with her name on it, her name and the Loch Ness Monster. So I
Her
was
name
like,
was on the cover of the book?
yeah, you don't remember that?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They had all the different names and you could buy it. Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah, it was cute.
Yeah, I love that. So, yeah, so anyway, so when I was back to the other story about the, what is that place called? Buffalo
Oh,
Wild
wow.
Wings. Okay. I found this bird standing in the middle of the parking lot and then I saw that he was about to get run down by a truck delivering the friggin' frozen chicken wings. Eh,
Wrong place.
How ironic that a bird almost got run over by a truck of dead birds. So I jumped out of my car and I chased him and like he got scared and he started running. That's what I wanted him to do. And he thankfully went up this little ramp and he wound up staring into a window it was like a mirrored window. So you can't see inside the restaurant. So he saw his own reflection and he thought it was another bird and he
He was
just
like,
stared.
who's that
So he
cutie?
stayed like that. That was just like how he stayed. He was just like that for hours because I was determined to try to save this bird. So I went on Facebook. I did not think of writing to Beth that time. I was writing on Facebook and I actually had to go do my delivery. I asked the lady in the Wild Wing place, do you have a box? I was actually thinking of trying to put the bird in a box, but thank God I didn't. Because I realized this is not going to work. how am I going to get this bird in this box, right? It's not going to be good. It's not good.
That bird would have been like, fuck.
I found out bad things about the bird. Yeah. But, so I went to go my delivery. I rushed it. Luckily, it was a very local delivery. I came back. I knew he was in love with his reflection. I think he was a baby one, and I think he had lost his mother. So maybe he thought his mother was in the reflection, you know? It was so sad. Like how, so I sat there and I was writing to people. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then a guy came and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this bird. He goes, well, he's probably from the park across. I'm like, yeah, but he goes, well, just leave. And I go, do you think I should? He goes, yeah, he'll probably die though.
Wow.
My God. So finally, someone on Facebook, that's the thing. I do love this. I find this with Facebook, and maybe it will happen on TikTok if I ever get the hang of TikTok. We'll see. But people take it as a call to action. And then they start reaching out to other people. And finally, a friend of a friend of a friend, maybe even more, found this woman that is a bird rescuer. And so she came, and man, you know how those rescue people are all about it? It's like
Yeah.
they are Batman, but for rescue. They were like the Cape Crusaders for birds. And they usually have their one forte. Like I've seen raccoon one,
Yeah.
I've seen cat ones, This one is a bird one. And she is, wow. And so she came in and she goes, oh, that's a Pomeranian. She goes, that's the only one I put my gloves on. That thing will take your eye out. I'm like, oh my God, thank God I didn't try to put it in the box. And she just, oh my God, she had these huge falconer gloves on, And I was like, wow. And then, and she might have put a mask on. I don't remember, but I remember the gloves. And she got it. She swooped. That thing fought her, but she had the gloves on, And she put it it looked so docile. And then she put it in the cage, and that was it. But so that was great. And so then the second time I went there, I saw a bunny sitting right next to it in the grass. I'm like, what is this place? Like the place where animals come?
It was like a pet.
Yes, it was. Well, it looked scared. I see a lot of bunnies delivering, but they're usually the wild bunnies that live you see them,
Yeah.
they seem happy, frolicking, whatever. This
Yeah.
bunny looked terrified.
Because someone probably dumped him.
Well, right. Well, that's why. Well, I put a picture on Facebook, and I'm like, I found this bunny. I don't know what to do, and I'm like afraid it doesn't have anything to eat. And people are like, looks like it's got food all around it, like little smart asses, with the grass. I'm like, there's something wrong here. This bunny is not right. Okay, so I wrote to Beth, and she wrote me back, but I didn't know. I didn't know what I put the location, and so she wrote me back and said, "Can you get it or whatever?" But I wasn't there. So then you saw she put it on her. She put it out on her Instagram, and
I know.
people
I was
went.
like, is that Selene's picture?
She went back because she has so many people that she gets people to go because she was in Florida, but she got the people to
She did.
come, and hopefully they found it because she said that's a domestic, and people have this problem. It's awful. They just put the bunnies out when they're tired of them,
Yeah.
and they can't survive.
Don't realize right, they've been domesticated. They can't survive, and people do that all the time.
It's really sad. It's awful.
Listen, I didn't want my bunnies, which is a long story, but I brought them to Parrots of the World, and the guy took them, and he was like, we'll make them classroom pets, and I was like, that's great.
Oh, that's great.
So much better.
Yeah.
Because I rescued those rabbits. Someone abandoned them. And then I soon found out why they abandoned them. I was like, wow, these bunnies are crazy.
They pooped a lot. But you know what Beth says that if you get them fixed, then they don't poop them.
But I only learned that recently. That at the time, and one of them
only learned that recently.
One of them was very angry. That was an angry. I don't know what happened to them before.
Oh, they must have been abused.
Terrible. I was like, yes, something happened to these bunnies, and I'm like, they're gonna bite my kids. I can't have these bunnies.
Oh, that's a good idea.
A biter.
Yeah.
If you live on Long Island and you either want a pet or you need to rehouse a pet for whatever reason, Parrots of the World, that guy's great.
Are they still open?
Yeah, I was just over there the other day, and they were still open.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah, remember I told you I was over there.
For some reason, I didn't see it last few times. I guess I just didn't notice it.
Sometimes.
I mean, I'm always right there. I know it's by Sugarberry, whatever that bakery
Yeah.
is.
Oh my God, I went to that bakery the other day. So nice.
Fancy. It's very fancy, right? It's like very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I
And then
got
but
something. It was really
here's an
good.
ad for Sugarberry, and their prices are reasonable.
It was reasonable.
Yeah.
We sat outside. It was really nice.
And it's open till midnight every day.
Yeah. Yeah, it was perfect.
Sugarberry, contact us about sponsorship. There was one podcaster, they had a pizza place sponsor them for an episode. So they did their whole episode on a pizza theme. It just talked about pizza related topics. So we could totally talk about bakery topics. I mean, please.
I'm really a big bakery fan, to be honest.
Oh, I
But
love it.
yeah,
If I had to pick between, like, I really don't eat it at all now, but my God, if I had to choose, like, if someone said regular food or sweets, oh, specifically bakery things, like not all sweets, but bakery things, oh hell yeah, I would eat that forever.
I'm the
Yeah.
opposite. I would rather have food.
I know there's two types of people: the people that
Yeah.
want the food stuff or the bakery. I still say flan
The
is the
other
perfect
things, but yeah,
flan is the perfect food because it has egg in it. Yeah,
I don't like eggs and I don't like flan.
by coincidence. Well, I just meant in terms of getting protein. That's why I
Yeah.
meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Um, by coincidence, Luna in Luna Rising, her favorite dessert is also flan.
That's
Isn't that it?
strange.
Yeah.
Well, by the way, just so you know, they have flan.
I know. I got it for my birthday.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Idea that
Yeah.
was where it was
That's
from.
where I got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I mean, but about us and Luna Rising, I've mentioned on the podcast before that we are actually Luna and Sunny. So the secret's out.
Yes, but
The
not
secret's out.
everything is true.
No, a lot of it, a lot. Yeah, you better hope it's fake. No, it's fictionalized, but the characters themselves are like is really it's really our friendship personified. You know what I mean? Some of it is
Some of
true.
it did happen, and
We'll
some of
leave
it,
that. We'll leave that for the readers to guess.
yeah, you can figure out which parts are true and which
Yeah,
parts
but
aren't.
I mean, I definitely didn't have Jiminy. I don't have a voice in my head, but my conscience, little voice. Don't lock me up, please. Although I sometimes think it would be really nice to live in a mental ward if you get taken care of.
Oh my God, no, no.
I guess it depends which mental ward, right?
I don't know
Sanitarium.
that there are any that are okay.
If you're really rich, maybe.
The point I get, because you just want a place where everything is taken care of for
That's what I
you.
want.
You're medicated. Yeah, but
I don't mean I want medication. I just want a place where people wait on me, feed me,
yeah, no,
take
that's
care
not
of me.
that's
They don't
not where
pay
you
you
want to
there?
be. They do, but do you want that food? Like, do you think that food is good?
I just want to not worry about it. I have a friend, she had a really bad problem happen in her house, right? And she's still taking care of it. And she's going to sell the house and move into a retirement community. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like a great idea.
I I want that too, but I don't want any of that. Let's play fucking mahjong bullshit.
So if
I don't want the
she's the
community
kind of
room.
person that likes that, so it'll
Yeah,
be
I
good
don't
for
like
her.
that. I
I don't particularly, no, I don't want to, but what if, but maybe if I could find one, wouldn't it be cool if I could find a retirement community of creative people?
yeah, does that exist?
What? Well, maybe I should create it.
Yeah, you could do that. That would be
In my spare time. I certainly, look, I could create the idea. It would be more like a commune, I guess. I don't know, but, well, someone has to
you
cook,
better
though.
copyright that. What is it, copyright? That idea?
I don't
You just put it out there.
know. You have to trademark it. Oh, that's a fortune. Remember, what's his name? The Orange Menace, didn't he, Agent Orange, didn't he copyright You're Fired or something? I don't think that Arnold Schwarzenegger could say it. He had to say something else. That's why it failed. Okay, so the bunnies, I believe got rescued by Beth's people. I hope so. But does that woman, if you ever have a problem, well, I don't feel at liberty to give out her email, even though she always gives it out. Go on to Instagram and follow Beth Stern, and you can get all the information from her. I feel weird just like to get out there. So, but she's amazing.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow that cat we were talking about, her name is Grumpy Barbara.
I thought the person was Grumpy Barbara.
No, the cat is Grumpy Barbara.
Well, I want to do an Instagram for my dog, but he doesn't do anything. I want him to dance.
You do something interesting. I never have the camera.
That's it. And then they won't do it again, right? That's what happens with the dog. My dog does make a very interesting sound that sounds just like Laverne Cox on the red carpet, but I can't get him to do it. Like, you never know when he's going to do it. So
I know. I don't know how these people get their animals. Get all this video.
I think the people are just always taping their animals, and that way, I think that might be it. But I just maybe
I guess so.
Couldn't we get like little cameras and keep it on our animals, and then it films them?
Well, I mean, usually people put it on their collar so you can see it from their point of view.
No,
Like
we want
a little GoPro or something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, then we'd have to know how to edit it. Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah,
I'm figuring out how to use this equipment I'm pretty proud that I've been learning stuff. I use Riverside Recording Studio, and I'm learning all about it. I put our little brand thing in, and I made videos. I've been reading Lunar Rising, and I've been popping up the cover of the book, and now I find out you're not supposed to do that because then TikTok will say it's a promotion. You can't win. You learn how to do something cool, and then that's it. So anyway, I'm going to continue about the animals, but I want to start off with a mini segment about, of course, Karen Read trial again, because there's always something about the Karen Read trial. Before we talk about the bombshell thing that happened, I do want to say, do you know how many lawyers she has working for her right now? She has 11 lawyers. But here's the thing. They're all working pro bono.
Wow.
Yeah. So
because it's such a big case, I guess.
Okay. Well, not supposedly, I believe this, she ran out of money because she had the other whole thing, right? So she was paid, she didn't have 11 then, but she had Jackson, and he's expensive and worth it. She sold her house. She doesn't have any more money. And so they got the hung jury. So now they're all working for free. And Alan Jackson did an interview saying, hey, we all believe in her innocence. We're all doing this. So I thought it was really kind. And more people have joined, like even an alternate juror from the last trial joined. And so I was talking to a person, I teach writing, and one of my students is a retired prosecutor. And I was like, yeah, he doesn't know anything about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, the Karen Read case. He's like, what's that? I'm like, hello? How do you not know the Karen Read case? But then he goes, oh, that one in Boston. I go, well, sort of. It's a suburb of Boston. I'm like the expert of this case. But it's so funny. But there's a lot of people like me on TikTok. They're invested. They're working on it like they're getting paid. They show people taking.
Yeah, I have a friend like that. She knows everything that's happening.
So well, it's fascinating. Well, this I think is a good case for law students because there's so much to learn by what's going on. Just like in the courtroom, so many things are happening that really could be studied because they're so debatable, right? So Alan Jackson said he was working pro bono, and I thought it was nice. I told this guy, my student, he goes, yeah, of course he's working for free because it's advertisement for him.
Right, it's high profile,
Like, yeah, but don't you think he's a little altruistic? He goes, what? He goes, have you ever heard of an altruistic lawyer?
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm like, well, she's got 11 lawyers. He goes, so you're telling me 11 lawyers are working because just they feel that she's innocent?
But,
Yeah, but it is taking a lot of their time, and they have to be housed there. Like, I don't think maybe Gannetti lives there because he's from Boston. I think he's the one. My consultant, that I'm related to, my law consultant, told me that you have to have one lawyer that's like based there, like at least I'm not sure if that's everywhere, but he thinks that this is why Yannetti has to be there no matter what because he's the based one. So maybe he lives there, I think, but the rest of them don't. They need housing and they need to eat and all these things, and they're not working on other things that they could make a lot of money on. And this is a long case. So, I mean, yeah, maybe they'll get money. Do they really need it? I mean, like Alan Jackson is one of the top 100 lawyers in LA. Why does he need this? What does he need? But look, I'm not going to argue. I'm still grateful that he's doing it. Think about the people that don't have high profile lawyers. We're watching so many things here. This case arguably shouldn't be prosecuted with all the craziness that's happened around it, And if she only had public defender or somebody that's not that experienced or whatever, they could still be good, but they're not going to have that finesse of like big one like Jackson.
Welcome to America. That's what's
Right.
happening with most of the country.
Well,
Nobody has these lawyers.
This is really upsetting. Like when you think about the justice system, they say that it's supposed to be in favor of the defendant with the reasonable doubt and innocent until proven guilty, but it doesn't seem like that at all, because when you look at the prosecutor, I question, he brings stuff in like so many questionable things, and he has no problem with it. Like, what is wrong with this guy? Okay, I found these two guys. I was trying to find something good to watch, like a wrap-up thing about it, so I did find a lawyer. There's like two lawyers that I like, and one guy, unfortunately, I forgot to subscribe for him, and now I can't find him again. But hopefully I will. But I like him because he's kind of a low-key guy. He says funny things, but very deadpan. And then I found this other lawyer, and he's called The Lawyer You Know, and he's like young and when the first time I saw him, he was wearing like a backwards baseball cap. What I really liked about him was he had his father. His father is also a lawyer, a retired lawyer. So they were they were consulting each other about stuff with like a week recap. And I really liked that. But then I found these two guys. They're two retired NYC cops. They are great. Because you know how New Yorkers will just say it. Just say whatever the hell is on their minds, right? And these guys, they're called Duty Ron, not duty like you poop. Duty, D-U-T-Y-R-O-N.
Like, are we going to address?
I guess that we're going to talk about some duty when it comes to animals, too.
We'll talk real duty?
Yes. Duty calls.
I'll begin in a few minutes.
Duty talk. Stay tuned for duty talk. But this guy, I guess he doesn't want to give his real name, but he was a first responder at 9/11 at NYPD detective. And the other guy, he uses his name, Ed Wallace. He was a CSI detective, and he is a forensic expert, and he has testified in 399 cases as an expert. So he really knows what he's talking about. So these two guys, they were talking about Brennan. First, they were talking about a witness, like he was a jerk, right? Whatever. And then they started talking about Brennan, the prosecutor.
Brennan is? Oh, what? Okay. Go ahead.
Brennan's the prosecutor, and they go, yeah, that guy's a piece of shit too. Like, you don't usually get people to say that. But it really is, because honestly, I think he's worse than the last prosecutor because the last prosecutor kind of droned on and was drippy, but I didn't doubt his integrity as much as I doubt this guy. This guy is a jerk. I don't like him. Okay. So what happened was, so there's a new lawyer that I've started watching, and I'm really into Jackson. Like, I love Jackson's my guy, right? And they say that there's one of the jurors in the court that gets so excited when Jackson walks up. It's clear that they want to clap for him. So that sounds interesting for the Commonwealth to get a conviction. And I don't know if it's the same juror, but someone was questioning the guy with the solo cups. So he goes, "Is this normally the way you do evidence collection?" And one of the jurors laughed.
Because really,
I know.
I mean, they're only human, these people. I know, but if you're sitting, like, how do you even keep a straight face? That is ridiculous.
Well, the rest of them did. I don't know. Well, today, Judge Bev, who a lot of people have a problem with, but I think she just sounds really overworked and really tired, like she needs to go home. She looks like she needs to retire. But people think that she's sending signals to the prosecutor. You know how I just did this with my hand, right? Well, when she does stuff like that, they're convinced she's sending a message to the prosecution.
Like those baseball signs they use in baseball?
Yes, like that. Yeah. What could she say to them? They showed one video where she was giving a really bad side eye to this other lawyer, like go F yourself. But, okay, so this other lawyer, his name is Robert Alessi, and I didn't know who he was at first. I was watching him, I'm like, "What's up with this guy?" Right? I've come to like him almost as much as Jackson. He's very talented, and I'm gonna quote, there's a person on Reddit, you get all your good information from Reddit, there's no better place, right? I'm gonna quote somebody named Black Velvet Star 1, that's their name on Reddit,
Great name.
and so, well, my name, I don't think I should give my name because I say things I I don't I'll just say this, I don't like my Reddit name because I didn't know, like, they just assign you one, and it's not me at all, it's, like, most not me you could be, and you can't change it after a certain period. I guess I'm stuck with this name unless I just start another account again. I don't care enough. I don't do it that much, but I write on, some sites that I would rather not have my name known, so oh, it sounds so serious.
Okay. I do
Um,
not have a Reddit name.
I
I
don't
don't
wanna give my Reddit name. Well, I discuss things that I'd rather not admit it's me. That sounds really serious. Not. No, it's not. I would rather not. I would rather remain anonymous, and that's so unlike me, actually. Usually I give out
know, which makes me wonder what exactly you're
um,
talking.
well, sometimes you know what? Sometimes discretion is needed. But I know it's hard to admit it, but it's true. Yeah. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
My life is now dedicated to stalking you on Reddit.
No. I really wanna change the name. I hate the name, but I mean, anyway, so Black Velvet Star One said, and somebody was complaining about Alessi. I don't know why. He has an odd affect, like, he just seems like he's stupid at first. He's like, "Duh," So this one, but then he hits some real he was really good yesterday with a witness, I'll tell you. So this person, Black Star Velvet One, said, "Alessi is my Columbo, rattling around in what appears to be irrelevancies. Then boom, the point becomes crystal clear." It's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think it's good because, like, nobody took him seriously at first, you know what I mean? So he was questioning the medical examiner. He said to the medical examiner, "You could not determine a cause of death for Mr. O'Keefe?" And the medical examiner said, "That's correct." So Alessi said, "So you have doubt about the cause of death. Would you say it's reasonable doubt?" I love that. But of course that was objected to and sustained.
I would think
But he said it, the jurors heard it, and it's just funny, you know.
it is.
It is so it's like saying, like, what are we even here for? They don't even call it a homicide. It's undetermined.
It's the whole thing. You know how I feel about it.
There's just reason after reason why this case isn't sticking here. Um, but okay, so then there was a bombshell new report. The prosecution went to introduce a new report about there's a certain time frame when they alleged that John O'Keefe could have been hit by Karen's car. Because then's definitely when she hits into the Wi-Fi at John O'Keefe's house, right? And they played her saying she got there at 12:41. The girl needs to shut up. She needs
Oh,
to shut
yeah.
up because her own cell phone says that she clicked in at 12:36. It's so like you're only hurting yourself by speaking. Stop speaking. She was probably saying she noticed it when she got in there, but in fact, when she pulled into the driveway, that shows she couldn't have been hitting John then. So then you have to allow the time to go. So that's why they figured out this thing. But this is malarkey, okay? There's a new report changing the time in the favor of the prosecution somehow of how long, based on his phone and her phone and her car. They say that the expert did this on his own. What expert's going to do anything on their own? They get paid, experts, okay? They handed in a report about it in January. Now, all of a sudden, the expert decided, looking at all this other stuff that people handed in, oh, I'm going to work on this some more without letting the prosecution know. we're supposed to believe that this person did all these billable hours.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Right now, get a free select tool when you buy the Craftsman V20 2-pack battery kit. Whether it's the backyard, the bathroom, or beyond, Craftsman has the tools to help you power through and get the project done right. Because DIYing is unpredictable, but your tools shouldn't be. Shop Craftsman at Lowe's today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Without being able to build them, because you can't build somebody unless you're got their approval to do it, right?
Right.
Really? And he works for a company. It's not like he's even, maybe somebody on their own might be like, let me do this. He works for a company. You think a company's going to allow that? So all of a sudden he has this new report, and he gets May 8th. They've already had witnesses testifying on this subject. So now in the middle of the whole trial, they got a whole new thing. It's a complete ambush, right? So the judge allowed it.
Wow.
Because why not? She goes, but you can cross-examine to the defense. Oh, can we? But they don't have any time to even really research it, right? Because it already got testified. That happened last week, and this week the testimony happened. When do they get time to actually do some research? It's not fair at all.
I guess they don't.
Right. So, but they had no, I mean, this is something that you could, on appeal, God forbid she gets, I say God forbid because there's so much reasonable doubt that I think if she gets convicted, it will be a travesty. I don't know if we can ever know the total truth about what happened. I don't know if she knows, but I know those people have been doing a lot of garbage, those people in the house. I know a dog was rehomed. And I know that a man went to his office in a nor'easter instead of going home. And he was drunk. Why did he go to his office? So there's so many questions. And when you have questions, you're supposed to not convict, presume innocence. I don't think there's enough to convict her. But if she did get convicted, I think they would be able to appeal based on this. But we'll see. So the new report came in, and the expert, his name is Shannon Burgess. And this guy, he's robotic. He's just like, yes, just not a fan.
Oh,
But so he testified, da 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 da. So then, what's his name came in on the cross? Alessi, right? Well, this guy, Alessi came to play. I mean, Alessi, you could see that he knew he had something. He shredded up. He was like, boom, and so he's like, you spell your name with one N, right, Shannon? The guy's like, yeah. And he's just like, why would you ask that question? He goes, so several questions, and he's like, oh, yeah, so saw your LinkedIn. Yeah. I also looked at your resume on your thing, at your job. Yeah. So your resume on LinkedIn and also on the job says you have a bachelor degree in math and whatever. The guy's like, "Oh, that's incorrect." He goes, "Ah, it is incorrect. You lied on your resume on your job thing." And it said he goes, "Well, that's old. It's been updated." He goes, "So was it ever correct that you had this bachelor's degree?" It's like, no. It's like, well, therefore, it's a lie on the resume. It doesn't matter when the resume was written. It's a lie. He gave a different resume to be handed into the court, so he didn't commit perjury because he told the truth in the court. Because people, if you lie on the stand, they'll arrest you if they know. You'll be let out in handcuffs. That's perjury. So he gave a different resume, like the correct one. Oh my God, this guy, it's hysterical. Don't you think didn't you just assume that forensic experts are really well educated? No. This man has been so-called pursuing his bachelor's. Guess for how many years he's been pursuing his bachelor's degree? 17 years. Okay?
Wow, long time.
So to be fair, I found out, this is really shocking, a forensic expert does not have to have any kind of degree. Are you shocked by this information? I am. Yeah.
You gotta be kidding.
Because they go for classes, okay? So they get certifications, but I would think that would be in addition to a college degree. Honestly, I would think a forensic expert would at least need a master's degree. Sometimes they could be a doctor. That's what I think. I have more of an education I have a master's degree. Suddenly I'm feeling so fucking smart. But I mean, I just don't. But the worst part is that he put it on there, and he put on the date of graduation. Like, you're a complete liar. So how can we believe anything this guy put in his report when he friggin' lied about his credentials, right? So then the next day, Alessi's like, they showed his report slides of his report, right? He goes, and it's got second by second by second. So the guy's like, yeah, this is everything. So Alessi goes, would you agree that every single one of these slides is not correct? He goes, no, I would not agree. He goes, what is the date on these slides? The guy fucking put the wrong date on the slides. The wrong date.
Boy.
He put January 30th, but it was January 29th. They started drinking on the 28th, and then after midnight, it slid into the 29th, and that's when all the stuff happened. Okay. This guy, if you don't even care enough, if you don't notice, you put the wrong date on your slides, how can we trust that anything you did is correct?
Oh, well.
But yet, Brennan, the prosecutor, comes back on redirect and got him to say, well, you put in a different resume here, da da da. He's like, how long ago did you do LinkedIn? Over 10 years. It's still a lie no matter what year you fucking did it. Okay. It doesn't make lies there's not a statute of limitation on lies. You know, your lie is always a lie. So it was ridiculous. But this guy was in on it, Brennan, because when Brennan first questioned him, when the witnesses come, he always questions them about their education. He did not ask the guy about any of his degrees. He only asked him about his certifications. And he does have a lot of certifications. So, but just tell the truth, just tell the truth.
I know, but
I think
look at how the truth made them look.
So those cops were like, this guy's toast, this guy's finished in his career. And of course, the CSI guy was completely outraged because, and I think that I love those guys because they're like so damning what they say. I think they're so cool. They're really fun. New Yorkers will just tell it like it is, But I do like the other lawyers too. I really like the other one, the one that was sort of deadpan, not the lawyer but the other guy that I can't find him again. But he's like, he's been pursuing his bachelor's degree for 17 years. Like he just said it.
Crazy. I mean, wouldn't you feel ridiculous? I would never tell people that.
Well, he should just take the whole thing off his resume. That would be the better thing to do. The only thing he has is a community college degree. So, which is fine. Then just put that, So anyway, I don't think this guy could be rehabilitated as a witness. I think it's outrageous. And I honestly think that the prosecution should be not chastised, whatever they do, sanctioned, whatever they do. So anyway, I thought Alessi was just great the way he did it too. That's all I really have on the Karen Reed thing. But today, the judge, before they did anything, she said, something's come up and I have to talk to each juror individually in private. So she put them all in their deliberation room and she questioned them one by one. She said, nobody speculate, but they can't stop us. That's all we do is speculate. But all the jurors came back, so nobody got released. She was probably looking for a way to get rid of the guy that wants to clap when Jackson walks in. But they were all still there. I just love this trial. I think it's way more interesting than the other one. I mean, P. Diddy, I don't even pay attention, I really don't. I tried.
To tell you, I have not followed either one.
Well, I like my Karen Reed recaps. And they play them. I did try listening today for a few minutes I went and got dental work. I'm like, should I listen to the afternoon testimony? So I'm listening to I'm like, Brennan is so frigging boring when he questions the person. A lot of people, I find, like me, just listen to the cross because the cross lawyers are good. But Brennan, nah. All right, that's mean. Not really. I don't like Brennan. But you know what someone
did? You don't have to like him.
Someone used that guy, the witness Burgess. Someone made a TikTok video and they showed him on the stand and they played Pink Floyd, We Don't Need No Education. I'm telling you, they have some very clever videos. Okay, we'll talk about animals for a little while and then we'll go. So this is funny. This is a story that sounds fake, but it is true. I got it from NBC News. It was a news report in Ohio. It really happened. A raccoon was found holding a meth pipe in a car. He ratted out his owner. The raccoon is a rat. The woman was stopped for a traffic stop for something. So then the raccoon was sitting next to her, and he just calmly pulled out a meth pipe. Obviously, her meth pipe. The raccoon's name is Chewy. The driver had the proper paperwork and documentation to own a raccoon in Ohio. Okay.
All right.
Domestication is legal. I think that's kind of cool that you can own a raccoon.
Yes, it's just weird.
Well, the problem was that she's a meth head. The raccoon has her meth pipe, an officer is heard saying with a laugh on the body cam video. That's evidence now. Then, when the officer took the pipe away, the raccoon pulled out another one.
He's like,
This really happened. I would have thought that this was a joke, but it was on NBC. Yeah.
I just feel sad that poor raccoon's mother is a meth head.
Well, he's been rehomed. I hope they didn't. I mean, it says rehomed. I hope he didn't go to one of those horrible, actually, I will say, I have learned that the animal control people are very nice and cool, according to the show Animal Control. I hope it's real. I hope that, because I always thought animal control were like meanies and killed them, but according to this show, they're very sweet and loving, and I hope that they're really getting the animals adopted. So
I know. I like that show. I love Joel McHale.
They use real life things like the bear in the hot tub. They use that on the show. They might use this on the show too. This would be a good one for them. The incident led officers to further inspect the vehicle, and they found a bulk amount of methamphetamine, crack cocaine, and 3 used methamphetamine pipes, according to the department. So meth and crack are 2 different things? Just smoke meth? Yes, because it was a meth pipe.
Yeah, and you smoke crack.
So you smoke meth. So could a meth pipe also be used as a crack pipe, or you need a different pipe? Is a special tool? Special tools of the trade? You have to have your specific...
I mean, I've seen a crack pipe. I know people who've smoked crack.
I wonder if it's the same
pipe. I don't know.
Well, and then they have those little pipes that you put the weed in as well. Can you use one of those?
You're asking the wrong.
I can't take any. I will never try meth or crack, of course. I mean, I can't even imagine what makes people do that. But I did try. I have tried a couple of those pipes for weed over the years. Not recently, but I thought I would die from choking. They're too strong. No, I'm not a pipe woman at all. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I could barely take a hit of a...
I mean, it's a bowl. It's...
No, they're too strong. No. All right. Well, I am interested in finding out if you can use the same pipe. I don't know why, but I was just wondering.
I have no idea.
Oh, she had 3 used methamphetamine pipes, but it didn't say anything about a crack pipe. Maybe they're the same, and I don't know what made them called that. She got pulled over for an active warrant. So sad. And a suspended driver's license. Her name is Victoria Vidal. She was 55. She still is, I guess, 55, from Akron, charged with 3 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia and cited for driving under suspension. And then she could... What?
Paraphernalia, but not the drugs?
Wait a second. The department said Vidal could face additional charges for crack cocaine possession pending lab results. They have to do the lab results to prove it.
Make sure that, I guess, that's true.
And they placed the raccoon in a carrier and contacted the Ohio Department of Natural Resources to ensure that Chewy is rehomed to a safer location. I hope so.
Chewy.
Okay, this is funny. Customs agents did something very funny. Customs, we could say, are party poopers, but literally. A woman had declared, at least she declared it, she didn't try to hide it. She was bringing home giraffe droppings from a trip to Africa. She was bringing home poop from a giraffe.
Okay. Did she say
She
why?
wanted to make them into a necklace. They were quite big pieces of poop. That would be one hell of a necklace.
Necklace? That's so, once again, weird. People are weird.
Apparently, you're not allowed to bring home poop. And this is cute. I've taken these from various sources on the internet. This one's from Reader's Digest. They said a Dominican man was taken into custody by police for violating curfew. When someone is arrested, it's not uncommon for a loved one to come down and pay bail or plead for their release. And such was the case when a Dominican man was taken into custody by police for violating curfew, except his loved one was of the canine variety.
His dog came in.
The dog came and tried to beg for the release of its owner. It came and put its little paws up. That's so cute, right? And
Adorable.
it says the dog, it was a Facebook video, it was a police Facebook video, and the dog strolled in confidently and begged for his owner's release. And it worked. Police Colonel Jose Francisco de la Cruz Mercedes said,
That's some name.
said, you know why I'm going to let him go? Because anyone can come in here. And that dog came in here and told me that man was his. And that's why I'm going to let him go. This is the first time I've handed over a prisoner to a dog.
Listen,
That's so sweet.
I would be more likely to give a dog something than a person.
Right. Well, it was really sweet that the dog did that. I had the dog know. It's really amazing how smart animals can be.
No. Yeah.
And then there's a Thai Buddhist monk. He was trying to say a 5-hour-long prayer for New Year's, right? And they're supposed to be all serious. 5 friggin' hours. And one of the temple cats wanted attention. So it was orange. Those orange ones are always trouble.
Oh, like my back.
And it crawled all over the monk as the monk desperately tried not to lose concentration. And this was being streamed on Facebook. Everything's on Facebook. These monks can't even pray without Facebook with them. So viewers all over the world were watching this. And the cat would not be ignored. And he climbed on the monk's robe. He kneaded his shoulder. And they finally blocked his scripture book so that he would have no choice. And the monk relented and gave the cat pets and kisses.
Oh, yeah. My cat, Baxter, who is an orange cat, he will leave me alone, but the minute I pick up that phone for a Zoom call, he is all.
Yeah. It's like they definitely get jealous of the attention going somewhere else.
Well, he does. He also regularly smacks my other cat if the other cat is sitting with me. He just comes and slaps him silly. He doesn't want to sit in the same spot. He just doesn't want the other.
Right. Jealous. Let's end with talking about remember the dogs in Costa Rica?
Yeah.
Well, there was so many dogs in Costa Rica. And first we had one that followed us all the way home from the restaurant to the beach, all the way to our thing.
I did feed him on the way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, there was a reason why. Yeah.
Yes,
right.
I gave him the leftovers I was carrying.
Yes. And then he sat outside so sadly, but we couldn't let him in because we were staying in an Airbnb, you know.
And we also didn't know that he got in. There was a fence, and I still don't know how he got in that fence.
Well, maybe he jumped or something. I don't know. Animals can jump, can't they? I don't think there was a tall fence.
No, it was tall enough that that dog wasn't jumping over it.
Really? I don't remember the fence, but I mean, they find a way. But we couldn't let him in. What if he had fleas or something and he put it in? You know what I mean?
At first, we didn't know he was out there. We opened the door for some other reason, and we were like, "Oh my God, the dog's here!"
It was so cute. Yeah,
it was.
But then there was so many of these dogs just running wild. Now, some people let their dogs run. Remember, the person that we were friends with said to her friend, "Oh, I saw your dog down on the beach today."
I saw your dog last night. So that's her
dog. I guess that's a nice life for the dogs. They can just go to the beach and everything. I mean, I guess that's kind of cool. But it was sad about the stray dogs. And so that last one, these restaurants are right on the beach, which is so nice and reasonably priced and everything. Really, really nice. And the dog came in and I went to feed the dog, but the dog didn't want to eat. The dog just wanted love. I was petting it and then it went to sleep by my foot. Remember?
Yeah, it just wanted to hang out.
That's why I really feel bad, like they're not getting enough love. So I said to the waiter, I know you can't take the dog home. I know you have a situation in your life, whatever, but maybe you could give this dog some affection. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, look, don't you want love in your life? And he said, yeah. I said, well, so does this dog. So then when we were leaving, the guy came up to me, he said, I have your message about the dog. I will do it. So I think it's great that the animals like I mean, I don't think it's great that they don't have homes or anything like that, but I think it's great that at least they have some freedom there, and hopefully they seem to be they are thin, but they seem to not care enough about the food. They want love.
Yeah,
Well, it depends on the animal, you know. But
that the local people kind of take care of them and keep an eye on them.
I guess, but I just think it would be good if they gave them affection too. It's not just food, but we all creatures need love, you know. So, but I guess at least they have good weather there, you know, and I think there's some advantages to living in Costa Rica, you know.
I mean, I wouldn't, but it's a beautiful place.
What was it that was bad about Costa Rica? The roads?
It was like 500 degrees. It was so. I don't
It was
think I've ever
humid.
been that
Wasn't it
hot in my
humid?
life. It was humid hot.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, the roads are like I've never seen roads that bad in my life.
I
Mm,
said, I, I said, what happened?
We had
Oh,
to fix the
yeah,
car twice in a week.
I know. We were in trouble on the. I said it's like driving on the moon with all the
Yeah.
craters.
I mean, but that being said, the people were lovely. The food was good. The
And
beaches were
really
beautiful,
inexpensive. You know, it
and
was
it was
really, I
very.
mean, you could eat really well, really cheaply, really fun. The pina coladas, you know, like great.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
we're both vegetarians, and there was no problem
no
eating.
problem. Yeah, it was great,
Yeah,
but
and the people were really.
they were really nice. But that particular place, Samara, that's the name of it. They said that people come there. A lot of expats, like they come and they never leave. That's why they become expats. They're not expats when they come. They stay there. But it's like people wanderers come there. It's like people that are lost kind of all wind up in Samara. It's kind of funny, right?
Yeah, that's why it would never work for me. I'm not.
That's what I say too. But we're ready to go to that women's retreat that the woman was going to do.
You. If I sit there with you, if you talk to me for like 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm down.
I
And
was
then
like,
once I leave,
oh,
I'm like,
I was like, you are not going. I'm like, you are not going to that women's retreat.
done that.
Well, at the time, you were like, why not?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, in the moment, I can be convinced of most things. But once I walk away, I'm like, oh, absolutely not.
Oh my God, I'm not into this. No, I.
Groups. I'm not a group person.
What is a women's retreat going to do? What's going to happen during that women's retreat?
Blah, blah, blah. And I have
Like
no patience.
there's going to be chanting. There's going to be meditation. You know,
Doing that for more than 5 seconds.
I can't take it either. That's what
Yeah,
I told you. No,
you've seen me in those situations. Does it work out ever?
you look like you were drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yes, because I'm telling you, we were sitting on rocks by a waterfall. This lady was going on. I'm like,
By
yeah.
the way, everybody was jumping off that waterfall too.
Oh, yeah. We were like,
Psychos.
no.
I mean,
It's like jumping off of anything.
that's insane. I think that's
There
crazy.
were
The
rocks
woman
at
did
the
it.
bottom.
That woman. Didn't that woman do it?
She did.
That's insane.
I am not that adventurous. That'll never happen.
No, it's dangerous, I think.
No, and it was perfectly nice sitting next
You
to
could
the
hit a
waterfall.
rock. You could land in the rocks on your head.
Yeah, no, that
No.
wasn't going to happen.
And there were good luck getting some medical attention. Friggin'
Right? I mean, we had to climb like all this shit. Climb for everything.
Oh my God, we were so far from anything.
And then we went to that other thing with that boggy shit
What was it?
cave, and you stepped in muck.
In a cave? Oh, yeah, you didn't like it in that at all.
It was disgusting. It's like stepping into a pile of mud.
It is. Well, I was more concerned about what's living in that muck. You know, I felt like,
It was disgusting. I would never do that again.
well, we're world travelers.
Listen,
I
you had to
want to bug
climb over.
again, though. I do like world traveling. I really love.
Yeah, well, we were discussing a trip, but more local.
Right. It's the best. The traveling is great.
Do you like it? I enjoy it very much.
Well, anyway, I guess we've run out of time, and look at me. I guess we've run out of time. We have other animal stories we can do another time. But we did talk a decent amount about animals because we talked a lot about them in the beginning as well, right? Do you want to add anything about animals?
I just, I'm a very big animal lover. And if you're going to give to a charity, if you're feeling charitable, there are a million. Beth Stern has Best Furry Friends. There's North Shore Animal League. There's always local shelters. You can donate food to local shelters. Like, they will take whatever you have.
You know what's a really nice thing to do? Like if you don't have money or something, you could actually volunteer at a shelter and
Yes,
to like and you don't even have to do the gross stuff if you don't want to. You can just pet them and be speaking of love, give love and companionship to these animals. I think that's a great idea.
wish I could remember who recently told me about a shelter. You didn't have to commit to certain hours, but you could go when you have time and
I
pet
used to
the
do that with
animals.
Casey.
You could
Yeah.
walk the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Casey,
can
well, we went
find
to
it
a cat one. Casey and I used to do that, and it was great. You could go whenever you wanted.
now.
Now they have these cafes, like cat cafes and all that. Did you ever try to go into one of those? I don't know if they're all like this, but there's a frigging admission fee to go in and pet the cat. I don't know if it's all of them. Was with my son and daughter-in-law in DC, and we were like, "Oh, it's so cute. The cats are in the window." It was an expensive fee too. Okay, it was like some ridiculous fee, like $20. I don't know if it was $20, but it was a lot of like. It should be free to go in and whatever you order. Maybe they should have a rule like you have to order something, kind of like a common
Or
type of thing.
encourage donations, but not
There
everybody
should, but I
has
mean,
20 bucks to,
who is going to pay just to go in and see cats? I mean, you could go into like the pet store, or, whatever.
and I'm still not spending $20 to go pet some cats.
There's
It's
cats
just
going to be
not going
putting on quite the show. Cats doing the can. I don't know.
Well,
I think that was outrageous.
there's one by me, but I haven't been in it yet.
Well, when you see it, let me know if they charge. There are 5 frigging bubble tea stores in the same street, on the same block in Rockville Center. How are they all making money? You could love that shit in one. You don't need 5. I went into one. I didn't realize this is how I really found. I didn't notice it. I'm friggin' oblivious, right? And so I went into one to pick up an order. And so I said, I'm picking up for whoever. And the woman looks at it and she looks at me. It's very angry. She goes, "Not my store." I'm like, it was literally across.
Like, take your
Well,
ordering ass.
and then around the corner, there's another one. And around the corner, there's one called Yaz Tea, and that's like a chain. There's a lot of them.
Seeing, yeah.
Well, there's that. And that's around the corner. There's the 5 on the one block. There's Yaz around the corner. And then a little bit down, there's another one across the street. I'm like, what are you both? Now even I see Chinese restaurants are starting to serve the bubble tea. Bubbles are gross.
It's like having boogers in your drink.
They're disgusting. But you don't have to get the bubbles though. I mean, I would say some of those drinks look kind of interesting, but my firm belief is if you're going to have calories, they should be edible. You shouldn't drink them, except if it's alcohol. Now, those drinks, sometimes some people buy like pints. This stuff, these things are huge, right? I'm like, there better be some alcohol in that. That's all I can say.
People love it.
They do.
I tried it in California. I was with a friend, and the person we were visiting was like, "Oh, you've got to try this." So we got one to split. We each took one sip, and we did not know what to do with it. We didn't want to be rude. We were both like, "This is so nasty."
So it wasn't even the bubbles; it was the actual drink.
Drink was gross, and then you sucked up that big booger.
Did you? But aren't there supposed to be? Didn't you pick a flavor that you would like? Aren't there different flavors?
I don't remember. This was quite some time ago.
I do like the way they put the sealed cover on them. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In the machine. You don't like that? I think that's pretty clever. All right. Well,
You
on
know
that
how it.
note, uh, um, so yeah, I have some quote. You have any quotes?
Hold on. And
Okay.
look, check this out because I'm.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. That's a good idea.
Look at me.
Look at you.
Bring.
All right.
I was prepared.
Good for
2
you.
for 1.
Extra credit.
Thank you. Anytime.
All right. You want to start? You can go.
Okay. And they're all about cats. I do love dogs too, but they're all about.
Okay.
Okay, the first one is Sigmund Freud because remember
That's right. And the cat we saw. That's another
there
time
was
we
a
saw a cat.
cat
Yeah.
out front. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very short and sweet. Time spent with cats is never wasted, and that's how I feel. My favorite time of the day is going home to my cat.
It's
Like
true.
I love all you humans and all, but I love mine.
Yeah. I
Okay.
hear you.
The next one is Charles Bukowski, who is a weirdo, but I still liked it. When I am feeling low, all I have to do is watch my cat and my courage returns.
Nice.
Yes. And the next one is Beth Stern, and I feel this way too. If I'm a crazy cat lady, so be it. I'm very proud.
Oh,
And the last one is Jim Davis, who is the creator of Garfield. And who doesn't love Garfield? Love him. Always have. And it's way down deep. Way down deep, we're all motivated by the same urges. Cats have the courage to live by them.
that's true.
Okay,
I
go
do love
ahead.
cats as well, except the show. That was a fiasco. I hate the cat.
I
That's a terrible show.
have never seen it, and there's something weird about people,
It is a
large
terrible
people,
show. It's
prancing
stupid.
around
It's just
in cat
you
suits. It's weird.
should make a show from a poem. It's just me.
That's what it was?
Yeah, it's from T.S. Eliot's poem, Cats.
Oh, that's not.
It's silly. Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I remember, I think I've said this before actually on the podcast, but Artie Lang went to see Cats with his uncle once for some reason. And, and the uncle goes, like, what the hell? This is a show about cats. And Artie's like, it's called Cats. He goes, Dog Day Afternoon ain't about no dogs. I love that. Okay. So my first one is Gandhi. He said, the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. And then I have, yeah. And then Arthur Schopenhauer, who I've also quoted before, he's a philosopher. I think I said it right this time, Schopenhauer. Compassion for animals is intimately associated with goodness of character. And then Mark Twain said, man is the only animal that inflicts pain for the pleasure of doing it.
That's
And then Marilyn Monroe said, dogs never bite me, just humans.
That's
And
absolutely.
then Nietzsche said, man is the cruelest animal. See? It's true. I think our quotes balance each other out. Like, you just did the nice stuff, and I was like, man sucks. That's funny. All right. Well, we shall see. We shall see what occurs over the next week with Karen Reed. They make
And
good
right
clips.
now,
All right. Have fun and au revoir.
what do I say? See you later. What?
No. Try again. Good day.
Good day. Whatever.
All right.
Craftsman Days are here at Lowe's with big savings on the tools you need. Save $100 on the Craftsman V20 6-tool Power Tool Combo Kit, now at $199. No matter what the project is, Craftsman's high-quality, high-performance products empower you to build on. Stop by your nearest Lowe's store and check out the full line of Craftsman tools today. Valid through 6/18 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.